Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Shao again with another episode of Paddlers. Are you ready? Today's topic is going to be about motivation. And so, one of the first thing I want to address is that for a long time, for me personally as a coach, and also I know a lot of other coaches as well, we feel like heart, desire, passion, these things are kind of a hit and miss. People either have it or it does not. And so, for a long time, me as a coach, I've been really perplexed about like, how do I get someone who seemingly doesn't have passion, who seemingly doesn't have motivation to actually get to have it. It's been a really big topic for me, and it's been really hard. And sometimes, you have a team of people coming in with different backgrounds, they have done sports or not. And so some people come in and they're like super gung ho, and they try hard at practice. They talk at race day, and they're really motivated. They're passionate, and it's contagious. And some people just don't seem to like be that. And so I've been asking myself, like, as a coach, how do I actually teach that? And so I want to just share with you guys two ideas today that I've gotten from the couple of books that I've been talking about. The first one being the talent code. And so in the talent code, it talks about how people gain talent and that everything is about practice. And I've talked about practice in another video. Check it out later. But that everything comes down to reps. How many reps are you doing? How many minutes and hours are you compiling of practicing the skill? And so it talks about this idea of like the 10,000 hour rule, where you cannot master something unless you've put in 10,000 hours of doing that thing. And so talent and heart, desire, passion, things like that is no different. These things are also things that you can train. And so it's all about the 10,000 hour rule. But the problem is that we generally want people to have that passion, have that motivation on race day. So we ask people to be motivated and passionate on race day. And so we end up only practicing it on race day. And on race day, you only have, a few hours, if not 8 hours, to just practice that skill of being motivated and having passion. And so that's not enough. And early on in my career as a coach, I figured it out that, and it was actually one of my paddlers, Sarah Rivers, that said, you can't just win on race day, you got to win every single day. And so that's kind of my idea of like, oh, you actually got to train passion, motivation, heart, these kinds of things, these non-tangible things at practice as well. Which brings me to the second point, which is from the other book, The Culture Code. And so in the Culture Code, I talked about in another video about beacon leadership, which is this idea of like, you have to, as a coach, make it super explicit. Where's point A? Where's point B? As in, where are you right now? Where are you trying to go? And so tying that back to the idea of motivation, heart, desire, passion. In the book, it actually talks about how passion, motivation is a complete skill that you can train. And it talks about this psychological experiment that they've done with people that wanted to set goals for themselves. And so the idea is that how can I take someone who has a goal to be motivated enough to follow through with that goal? And so the experiment goes like this. Very, very simple. You can try to do this on your own too. Take any goal of yours. Imagine yourself accomplishing that goal. Do it. Think about what you want to do. What does it look like when you accomplish it? And then separately, now think about all the obstacles one at a time. What is going to stop you from reaching that goal? And how are you going to face that obstacle? So think about that. Think about your goal, which is point B, where you are, which is point A, all the different obstacles that you are going to have to face going into part B. And how are you going to deal with that? And so they had people do this experiment with whatever goal they had in mind. And I think it was like something like weight loss or something like that. And they actually found the groups that did this imagination practice, this experiment, actually was way more motivated to accomplish that goal. Here's the reason why. It's, again, just up to practice. It's not the one giant leap that you need to make. It's not just that one choice that you need to make. To accomplish that goal, you need to make a lot of very, very small choices. And so the more you can practice dealing with those obstacles, the better you are at dealing with that. So let's take a Dragonboat example to try. So on race day, let's just say you have paddlers who if they're ahead, they're really motivated to be ahead. And if they're behind, they're kind of like, oh, whatever, we're behind anyways. And so you want them to practice in that moment to push through and want to keep on going even though they're behind. So that's 1 rep. That's 1 rep of practicing what you want in terms of desire and heart. How can I make that 1,000 reps? Well, you do have 1,000 opportunities, but it's not at race day. That 1,000 rep opportunity comes from the many race pieces that you've done during practice, or many pieces that you have done during practice. So it's all about, during practice, can you recreate this thing that you want them to practice again and again and again and again? And I know that a lot of coaches do this, but the problem comes with you're doing it sporadically, as opposed to, this is the ultimate goal that I want them to practice. And that's why every single day I'm having that, imagine that. And honestly, at first, paddlers are going to feel kind of weird about it. But you as a coach just need to be very, very diligent and very non-apologetic of, look, you were behind during this piece. Maybe you have 2 boats and you get them to start behind. How did you react to that? And just hone in on like making sure that they practice perfectly what you want their reaction to be. And it's just like any other skill that you want them to practice, whether it's the entry, the rotation, this is just another skill. Motivation, passion, heart is just another skill. And you need to have them imagine the obstacles that they need to be facing. So for example, we take a skill of entering the blade. An obstacle is, I have an air pocket. They can see that obstacle. They can do it. And they have thousands of opportunities to see that obstacle and react to that obstacle. But when it comes down to motivation, heart, things like that, it's a little bit more intangible. So you as a coach need to make it visible so that you highlight whenever they fail and whenever they succeed. And you need to practice that 1,000 times before race day, so that on race day, you already know what their reaction is going to be because you've practiced it 1,000 times. So again, to recap, heart, motivation, passion, these things are not whether you have it or not. Some people naturally have it because they've practiced it all their lives, because of their parents, because of their coaches, because of their teachers, whatever it might be. And some people don't, because their parents, because of their family, because of their teachers, because of their coaches, whatever it might be. But it is your responsibility as a coach to get them to have that passion. And at the end of the day, it's all about practice. Do you give them enough opportunities before race day to practice, to fail, for you to give them feedback about their heart and desire? And if the answer is yes, I promise you they will have it at race day. Hopefully you guys are liking these videos. That's it for today. If you like these ideas, you want them to keep coming, give us a thumbs up. If you really love the idea, then share with other people on your team, share with other coaches, share with other athletes, share with other sports so that they get to know about dragon boating and paddling in general. If you really like what we're doing here, give us a subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Peace.